Hello, this is a screencast to talk about getting ready for your next semester of classes and trying to navigate the course requirements for your major. First thing I want to say is please note that these tools are not meant for planning. There are errors. I know there are errors. So these are just illustrations of how all of the course requirements work. All right, so for a Miami Plan bachelor's degree, you need 124 hours total. All right, so when you total up every single class you took, it has to be 124 hours. And sometimes that means you have to take elective classes, okay, to get there. Main categories of classes, you've got your Miami Plan, all right. You have classes in your major. So if you're a CIT major, information technology, those are your CIT classes. And then you're also going to have classes that are related to your major, okay? And those are classes outside of your department. I can think of one, I think it's English 313. Technical writing is required for CIT majors, okay? They all kind of interact together, so there are overlaps, and that's what can get kind of tricky, and that's what I want to show you. You also have classes that you might take as electives. Most students take electives. Some students also take minors or declare minors that are totally outside of their major. And so that's a whole separate list of classes that they take. But they all contribute to the 124. Okay, looking at examples I think helps. So this is a social work major, and it's listing the requirements. And you can see here, all right, so in this area right here, I've got some social work, FSWs, family science, social work, classes that are listed, and those are major specific classes, and you really don't have much choice there, okay? Right here, the only major related class that's not also Miami Plan is a psychology course, which makes sense to me. And then in this overlap here, we've got stats that should be a 2, stats 261. And that class belongs in this overlap because it's required, right? So it's on the list of classes you have to take for a social work major, but it also is a formal reasoning class and it's part of Miami Plan. So it counts in both categories. That's double dipping or killing 2 birds with 1 stone, right? So this major happens to have overlap here between required classes that are part of FSW and Miami Plan. And it also has at least this one class that is an overlap between their related courses and their classes that are Miami Plan. Right? These up here are categories, some of the categories of the Miami Plan that are going to be just pure choice on the part of the student. Okay, so they're going to get to choose their own. Technically, you can choose your own for any one of the categories, but you're going to want to pick the overlaps because that's going to make it much more efficient for you. In this case, this student also decided to do a psychology minor. And so a lot of the classes, there's going to be about 5 classes here, are going to be not anywhere, on the social work list, except for this Psych 242, and that's going to count in both places. All right, another example. So here's mechanical engineering. Again, I'm listing mechanical engineering classes that are not Miami Plan. These are mechanical engineering classes that are Miami Plan. They're the capstone, and capstone is part of Miami Plan. These classes right here, they're required. They're outside the mechanical engineering department, but they're not Miami Plan classes. So they're listed here. And then we've got these classes that are overlaps between the major related courses and Miami Plan. And so this is formal reasoning, this is a physical science, this is an advanced writing, and economics is the social science. So these are the categories left that a mechanical engineering student has total free choice in. Okay? If this student only wants to do a thematic sequence, and everybody has to do at least that, they don't even have to think about it. Every one of the 3 classes that makes up their thematic sequence is in their major related classes. So they're going to have their thematic sequence no matter what. But this person decided they wanted to do a psychology minor as well because it's something they've always been interested in. There's not going to be any overlap, but that's okay. And this student also just picked an elective that was extremely interesting to them. All right, in terms of how do you start putting together your own plan, these are just some tools, and I'm just going to show you these briefly. This first one is the Miami Bulletin. So you can go to the bulletin. You can type in your major. I just typed in kinesiology. I am looking for the bachelor degree. And you're going to see this is requirements outside of the K&H department. That's your related hours. These are the K&H classes that are required. Okay. And there are a lot of overlaps right here. Okay. And those are the types of things that you got to figure out. And obviously advisors are there, but we want you to understand why they work the way that they do. All right, some majors have 4-year plans on their website, which is really, really awesome. And that's going to tell you pretty much the order you're going to take classes in. Not always exact. Sometimes you do have to take them in order, and that's what your advisor is for. Some of them you can kind of switch around some. Okay, so those are good tools for you. If you're wanting to know, hey, this says I need to take Bio 161, I wonder if that's a Miami plan class, you can use the course list. That's one way. And you can look up that class. Right? And then if you look at the details, it's going to tell you, hey, it's a natural science, okay? So foundation, biological science, perfect. So it is a Miami plan requirement, which is nice and helpful. Okay, last thing you can do is take a look at your Global Miami Plan website, and it's going to list the classes. So these are all of the global classes. So you can look through and try to find ones that are interesting to you, and then find out if they're offered in Oxford or at the regionals. And you know, once you get 16 hours, you can take them either place that you want. So this is just a quick introduction to the tools. I'm going to be working a lot more on this in the next class session.